You ever put the wrong guard on your beard trimmer and end up looking like a child? Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and I am thankful today for many reasons. But one, we just crossed 800 subscribers. My goal was to get to 1,000 by New Year's Eve. You know, we got a month to get 200. It's a big ask, but I think it can be done. I just want to say thank you to everyone who continues to support, especially those of you who I do not know. A year ago, I was sitting in a building with 3,000 teenagers trying to teach them when they were more concerned about their phone. And now I'm becoming part of the problem, right? I'm creating content to distract people from their lives, and I could not ask for a better life, a better job. Okay, I am very thankful for where I'm at right now. And while I'm not getting paid to make content right now, I do hope that in a year to 3 years that becomes a reality. So it can't be done without you guys. So you guys are early adopters. You're the first here. So I appreciate it very much. Let's continue to build this Green Means Go brand, and let's rank some teams. We will start, as we always do, with the Cardinals, who were only 1-point underdogs against the Rams. And I said on my weekly picks video, that's ridiculous. Take the Rams. The Rams blew them out, wins the draft for Arizona. The Falcons now sit at the top of the NFC South, which is just an abomination to the game of football. It's ridiculous. So we'll put them in the category because there are 3 teams in that division fighting for the playoff spot. I don't think they'll get a wild card if they don't win the division, but right now they're set to win. We will keep the Ravens at Super Bowl conversation, although their win against the Chargers was not overly convincing. Their defense looked like it traveled well on the road. 7 teams make the playoffs from each conference, and right now the Bills are sitting at 10. I could not have predicted this. I'm frustrated because I know they are more talented than 70% of the NFL, but they cannot get it together. You know, they blew the game in Philadelphia. That would have been a massive win on many fronts. But for the Bills, they got to fix something. Firing Frank Reich was the best thing that the Panthers could have done. They need some weapons for Bryce Young, and I think Marvin Harrison might be a good fit. The Bears won on Monday night. Their offense is pretty decent with Justin Fields at full strength. You know, they may win 2 more games, 6-11 for the Bears. This Joe Burrow injury is just too massive, although Jake Browning didn't look horrible. Low-scoring game against a divisional opponent that ended in a loss. 6-11 is only 1 more win, and I don't know if they're going to get many more than that. The Browns ended up putting in P.J. Walker halfway through the game, which confused me why they hadn't been playing him earlier. They got blown out by the Broncos, who are coming into form. Still, division is up for grabs, although I do think the Ravens get it, but a wild card is certainly within the picture for the Browns. I'll make a change. I'll do it. I legitimately believe that the Cowboys have enough firepower on offense and defense to make a run at the Super Bowl. The Broncos are now 1 game back from making the playoffs after starting, 1-5? Even though the Lions lost on Thanksgiving, they can thank the Bears for beating the Vikings, which keeps the Lions 2 games ahead in this division. Comfy playoffs for the Lions, but I have questions. I spoke too soon on the Packers. I did. I was celebrating their horrible, underwhelming season, and then they win 3 straight. So they're only 1 game back out of the playoffs right now. Out of respect, we have to put them in the category. I do think the Texans can make a run, but as I've said all season, the Jaguars are the best team in the AFC South, but we will still put the Texans in the category. A playoff berth is certainly within reach. If the season ended today, the Colts would be the last wildcard team in as they hold the tiebreaker over the Texans, who they beat in week 2. Now there will be another game between these 2 teams coming up. It should be a fantastic game, and I probably give the nod to the Texans in that one, but the Colts are in the category. The Jaguars should have no problem holding on to that division if they can stay healthy, so give me comfy playoffs for the Jags. The Chiefs will win the AFC West, but I still think they are looking more mortal than ever. Give me comfy playoffs, but I'm not talking Super Bowl with this team just yet. The Chargers are now 2 games back. They're 4-7, and I think all seven, every single one of their losses has been by a field goal or less. That's absurd. I'm sorry. 6-11 for this extremely talented Los Angeles team. Honestly, if we have the Packers in the category, we have to have the Rams in the same category because they're sitting with the same record and the same potential. So as much as I hate to do it, I'm putting the Packers with the Rams in the category. This is so symmetrical. Look at this. That is awesome. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Moving on. The Raiders are 5-7, and while they do mathematically have a chance to make the playoffs, I'm going to put them in the 6-11 category. Again, too many questions with this team, so I'll just go ahead and solidify them in this spot. While the Bills can still technically win the AFC East, the Dolphins have a 2-game lead on them at this point, so comfy playoffs for the Dolphins. If they don't win the division, they will make the wild card. The Vikings currently hold the last spot, even though they've lost 2 straight for the wild card berth if the playoffs started today. So we'll put them in the category, but they better clean up some things and fast. In my picks video, I said, why are the Giants 3-point dogs at home? Take them with the points. Take them on the money line. And the Giants beat this sorry Patriots team. The Saints are only a game back, and I do believe they are the best team in this division. Now, Chris Olave did go down with an injury. I don't think it's going to be a permanent thing, but they are without Michael Thomas right now, so they need to get healthy and quickly if they want to make the playoffs. Good for the Giants, man. I mean, they're doing what they can with what they have. They could probably win 2 more games and get to 6-11, but let's be realistic. Wins the draft. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is being serious that he will try to come back. He said he will only do it if the playoffs are in reach, and I don't think they are, as the Jets are sitting at only 4 wins. So, well, I do think they can win 2 more. I will throw them in wins the draft. The Eagles do have some question marks, given that the Bills were able to come into town in a rainy day and throw all over them, but I'm not taking anything away from Hurts in this team that was able to once again get it done and get a win. That's 2 back-to-back solid wins against solid playoff teams, so we'll keep them in Super Bowl conversation, and I realize that this is a strong division. The Steelers are in the AFC North, so we will put them in the category. This category is getting crowded as the Seahawks have now dropped 2 straight, and I believe, if I had to guess, they're going to drop another 2 or 3 games. Their schedule is just brutal. They have the Cowboys on Thursday this week, and then they turn around to face the Eagles, and then they turn around and I believe face the Niners again. It's a brutal run. The Vikings loss does help their case, but I can see the Seahawks missing the playoffs after starting like 6-5-2. Oh gosh, I'm so sad. This is going to make a lot of people upset, but I do not think right now Brock Purdy is ready to be put in a category of Super Bowl conversation. I think he is a game manager, and I think when you throw a defense at him that is a top 5 to top 7 passing defense, he struggles, and we've seen that multiple times this year. All of their losses have been against teams that have shut Brock Purdy down and have challenged him, gotten after him. And I think as we get closer to the playoffs and we get into more intense games, they are going to struggle. He is going to struggle. So while they will win the NFC West, watch out. I don't think this team is built for a long playoff run. The Buccaneers should win 2 more games, but I think their playoffs are dashed. Titans got to win and might win 2 more, I guess. A lot of teams have exactly 4 wins, so maybe I should be putting more here. They might win 2 more, but at the end of the day, I think this team needs to kind of throw in the towel. Taking a look at our movers, shakers, and moneymakers this week, we do keep the Birds the same in the Super Bowl category, but we move up the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dak is playing at a career best. I think this defense is solid. I think the coaching staff and the offensive weapons, it's all meshing. Watch out for this team. As for the comfy playoffs, we don't see any change to any of these teams. I think these teams all make the playoffs and win their divisions easily. As for the category, no change to most of these teams, but we do welcome in the Falcons and the Rams, although I think the Rams have a little bit of a longer shot than do the Falcons because the Falcons can still win their division. And moving down, we have the Browns, who need to start PJ Walker and need to get back on the winning side of things, and the Texans, who are just on the other opposite side of a tiebreaker right now, but could change any moment. As for 6-11, we have the Bears moving up and the Titans moving up. The Buccaneers moving down with their bad loss to the Colts and no change to these other 3 teams. And wins the draft, I can't figure out what to do with these New York Jets. Thank you guys again for stopping by. In 2023, my goal is to give you guys some new content. I'm going to keep, my traditional scheduled programming the same, but I'm also going to throw you some curveballs, okay? See if we can't hit one out of the park. We'll see you next time.